And I would now like to introduce Patrolman Eian Bowel of the Manchester Police Department, who will tell us about how New Jersey traffic laws, statutes apply or do not apply to private communities.
Thank you, Carol. Good morning, everybody. My name is Eian Bowel with the Manchester Township Police Department, part of the Traffic Safety Unit. I know a lot of, oh, there you go. Oh, that's okay, you can keep it in there. All right. So the reason why I'm here, because specifically we do field a lot of complaints from residents within our township, and the number one question we do have is, why aren't police doing enforcement in our communities? And it's not just you guys, you know, it's residents from Leisure Village West, the Knoll, River Point, Leisure Ridge, Cedar Glen West, Renaissance, Cedar Glen Lakes, the Meadows, Crestwood Villages 1 through 7, the reserves at Lake Ridge, Whiting Station, Country Walk, Pine Ridge South. That's just to name a few. We actually even have more than that. So what we do as police officers, we're in your developments all the time, we're in your villages all the time, but certain traffic laws aren't applicable, as most of you think that they are, but they're not applicable. So statutes that do apply within our township are things like driving while intoxicated, driving while suspended, reckless driving, careless driving. These are all statutes that obviously are enforceable within the township on private property and public property. Traffic law is called Title 39. Within Title 39, it outlines that public highways are state highways, county highways, municipal roadways. Private property, unfortunately, isn't designated as the same. So that doesn't mean you can do what you like and drive how you like and ignore and disregard certain traffic control devices such as stop signs or speed limit signs and crosswalks and those types of things. But us as police, we have to fit within the criteria given to us by the state of New Jersey. So with that, careless driving typically is what you see police as us issue motorists that do operate within the community. Stop sign violations are one of the biggest complaints that we field here in the Traffic Safety Unit, and most of the times you will see us out here patrolling, responding to calls, emergency lights on, and we do area checks within the communities, especially on midnight shifts. So you do see us out here. Our presence is pretty strong, but we do have a lot of accidents within the community. And what you do see us issuing a lot is the careless driving statute. Now that does cover stop signs, but the reason why private properties aren't held to the same success as other highways are within the statute, and that's because of signage. Signage such as stop signs, for instance. If you look at the MUTCD, which is the Municipal Uniform Traffic Control Device, and what that does, it outlines every traffic control device that you may see, such as stop signs, yield signs, crosswalks, speed limit signs. The criteria, for instance, a stop sign must be minimum of 30 inches by 30 inches. If you look around here, you'll see that the stop signs that are posted aren't within that requirement. In addition, they must be mounted at least 7 feet from the ground level, which you also see is not the case with the height requirement of stop signs in not just this community, but other communities. And some communities, you'll see a stop sign being made of wood, and it won't be retroreflective, which also is a requirement in New Jersey for enforcement. And because of those reasons, this is why us as police, although we may see an infraction and we'll stop for that infraction, it would be considered a careless driving and not a failure to stop at a stop sign. So it's a little bit of a loophole, but certain things such as that as an example is what we have to do as police within your community. Regards to speed limits, again, that's also a catch-all statute that allows us as police to issue, instead of a speeding violation, it's a careless driving violation. Now that's also a serious offense because it's a moving violation, and it does entail with it a 2-point assessment to your license. So that's also a deterrent for most motorists in the area, but we also have to remember that pedestrian traffic is also a concern in this development as well as other developments. And the crosswalks, as you see, even though you have signs where they might be and where they're supposed to be, nothing is adopted by ordinance. So what I'm going to explain to you guys a little bit today is regarding what's called 5A1. It's Title 39, and it outlines essentially what's required by a private property or a private organization on private property, the process that there is to get it adopted in ordinance, an engineer review it, and then it gets submitted to the township for enforcement. So currently we have 2 areas within the township that did adhere to the requirements set by the MUTCD, and those are Manchester Plaza, which is where the ShopRite and the Lowe's is, and also the Quick Check on 571. Now, both those locations are fully Title 39 enforceable by the police department. In addition to that, we also have all the school districts, also by ordinance. So you have all 5 of our schools within the township we can also issue all Title 39 violations for. In addition to that, our municipal complex on Colonial Drive is also an area we can do full Title 39 enforcement. Aside from that, again, private property, as those developments I just listed, we cannot. And certain areas have tried to do applications, and they never quite finished the process. And primarily for the main reason is cost. It can cost thousands of dollars to fulfill the process. But again, if that's something that the private association wants, it may be in best interest to research that route, if that's best for them. So things that we can't enforce, again, are parking violations as well, speeding violations, stop sign violations, and pedestrian violations. And again, they're all captured under careless driving. We do get a lot of accidents within the community, but every community has them, especially on private property, even on public highways, of course. But we are in here, and we will issue tickets for most at-fault accidents.
Tom Farrell, Liverpool Circle. Thank you for your presentation.
Oh, no problem. Thank you.
It appears that careless driving is the catch-all for a lot of things. Mm-hmm. So my question is, a vehicle with an expired registration, no insurance card, the driver with an expired license or no license, is that enforceable under any of the rules?
Those violations specifically are not enforceable. However, if you get in a motor vehicle accident and you're on private property and you don't have proper liability insurance, well, then you're going to have an issue, with your insurance, and more of a civil issue is what you're going to run into. In terms of the application of traffic laws, those specific violations you just named, we can't enforce. But again, you're going to have some civil liability that's going to come with that, obviously.
Thank you.
You got it.